Children, let's see one more sum in trading chain. What is this one trying to say? A wholesaler purchased electric goods for rupees 1,50,000. So he is purchasing, wholesaler is purchasing. From whom? We are not given. A wholesaler purchases electric goods worth rupees 1,50,000. He sold it to retailer for 1,80,000. Retailer sold it to consumer or customer for 2,20,000. The rate of GST is 18%. Find the taxes paid by the wholesaler and retailer. Now in the question it is not bifurcating whether it's an SGST, CGST. If the question do mentions it's an intrastate, interstate, right, intrastate, bifurcate into two, CGST, SGST. Here in our question it is not saying that. So we will count for total GST. We will count for total GST. We are considering this particular question as total GST. If the question mentions SGST, CGST, we will bifurcate. Right? We start our problem. I have given you a very simple, a chain. What the question wants to say, a flow chart. Wholesaler is purchasing at 150. Retailer is purchasing at 180. That means wholesaler is selling at 180. On the other hand, retailer is purchasing at 180. Retailer is selling at 220. On the other hand, customer is purchasing at 220. That is 2,20,000. Right? So let's understand. If you all have visualized the very first slide, which I have given you in detail, what does and what kind of tax are being collected, input tax, credit, output tax, when these are being collected, when these are being paid. So whenever you purchase ITC, whenever you sell, output tax. What is the net tax? Output minus input. Right? Refresh your concepts. Once again, go back. If you all are not aware, go back, see the entire video and then solve this particular sum. Sum becomes very simple. Sum becomes very, very simple. So let us, within the flow chart, give you the answer and then we'll write down the entire answer. Right within the flow chart, we will write down the answer. Now, since the wholesaler is purchasing, so from whom he is purchasing, we are least bothered. Is he supposed to pay input tax ITC? Certainly yes. And what is this ITC is going to be? It's going to be 18%. ITC is going to be 18% of 1,50,000. He is going to pay 18% of 1,50,000. Right? Now he sells to the retailer. So, but naturally he's going to go for collection of tax, output tax. So, how much is the output tax? Output tax OT. How much is the output tax OT? Is he going to collect? He is going to collect 18% of 1,80,000. That's what he is going to collect from retailer. The difference between them is the tax paid by wholesaler. Output minus input. As simple as that. Now, whatever is the output here, let me write down with a different marker. Whatever is the output for the wholesaler, same shall be for retailer. So the input tax credit for retailer is going to be 18% of 1,80,000. Because he is a seller and he is a purchaser. Wholesaler is a seller, retailer being a purchaser. So seller is going to collect output tax. On the other hand, retailer is going to pay input tax. Value being the same. What happens? Even retailer is going to sell it to the customer. So he has to collect tax. So what is the output tax? Output tax OT is nothing but, this time it is going to be 18% of 2,20,000. 2,20,000. Again, the difference between them is the tax paid by, GST paid by retailer. Our sum gets solved here only. If I would like to extend this particular sum by saying that, hence, what is the final amount paid by the customer? I repeat, we are done with our sum here at this juncture. But if the question further says what is the final price paid by the customer, so let me extend this particular question with a different marker. Customer price. I'm just extending this particular question. Customer price. Then it's going to be 220 plus 18% GST on 220. That's it. The answer is going to be customer's price is 220 plus 18% GST. Simple. So this is what we are going to write down. This is what we are going to write down here in our solution. We have already started. We have given you the chain, right? So we say for wholesaler, let me tell you, whatever I have written down is what I'm going to write down in wordings and statements. That's it. For wholesaler, input tax credit, ITC, is 18% of 1,50,000. Calculations is what we have not worked out over here in the flow chart. We'll work out here. 18%, that is 18 by 100 into 1,50,000 goes off 15 into 18, 270, 12. So it's 27,000 ITC. 27,000. Now he is going to sell it to the retailer. Rather, he is selling it to the retailer. Okay. So what is output tax? Now output tax is 18% of 1,80,000. 18 by 100 into 1,80,000. 18 18s are 324,000. I'm sorry, 32,400. So this is output tax. This is output tax. This is output tax for wholesaler. Now the question says, how much is the tax paid by wholesaler? Output minus input. Tax paid by wholesaler is equal to output tax minus input tax credit, or I can say ITC, So how much that works out to be? 32,400, which he is collecting. He is paying 27,000. So tax paid by wholesaler is rupees 5,400. Mind you, this is the entire GST. Now, if the question suggests and tells us, find the SGST, CGST. Say, if the question had to say in bifurcation, hence find out the SGST. How much tax did the customer pay to the central government? How much tax did the customer pay to the state government? That is SGST and CGST. Just divide this by 2. 2,700 to state government, 2,700 to central government. Right, children? So keep all these things in mind. Here, I have not given you that. What next? Now, whatever we have done for wholesaler, on the same lines is what we are going to come for retailer. For retailer. What next? Can I say directly, whatever is the output tax for wholesaler is the input tax for retailer? So we are directly writing it out. I have given you everything. This is the same, mind you. OT for wholesaler and ITC for retailer is the same. For retailer, input tax credit is 18% of 1,80,000. I'm not doing any calculation. We already have it. So input tax credit is 32,400. We already have the value. What is going to be the output tax? Also, output tax is going to be 18% of how much? 2,20,000? 2,20,000. So, what if we have to calculate this? Output tax is 18% of. So, shall I say it's 18 by 100 into 2,20,000. 1212 22 into 18, 396, 00. 22 into 18, 396, 00, 39,600. That's the output tax. What is the tax paid by? Now, tax paid by retailer is output tax minus ITC. 39,600 minus 32,400. The value turns out to be 7,200. Our final answer, tax paid by retailer. Tax paid by retailer is rupees 7,200. I have given you the answer. What if the question extend this one and say price paid by the customer, price paid by the customer? If at all the question extends and gives us this particular question, our answer is 220. That is 2,22,000 plus 18% GST. Also, here also, if the question says how much the retailer pays to the state government, how much the retailer pays to the central government, 7200 by 2, 3,600. 3,600 goes to state government, 3,600 goes to central government. Quite simple, children, right?